They'll go to Denver to play the Rockies before they come back home next weekend to host the Nationals. There are only 5 teams in Major League Baseball, just to put a finer point on it, how well the Guardians are doing. There's only 5 teams that have 30 wins right now. And the Guardians are one of them. The Yankees and the Royals in the American League, the Phillies and the Dodgers in the National League, and your Cleveland Guardians. So all of them looking real good. Royals have been real kind of hot and cold the past couple of seasons. You never know if they're going to really stink or if they're going to be good. Those other teams are pretty consistent. But your Cleveland Guardians, dare I say, you know what? Jinxes be damned. I'm going to come out and say it. They're doing pretty well. They are doing pretty well. And they're finishing up around the corner down here. If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where you do that so I can make sure that you are on our map. Nope. Of bureau chiefs. Justin listens up in Buffalo, New York. Mackenzie is a bureau chief in Medford, Oregon. Jordan's in St. Louis. Andrea's in Corydon, Indiana, if she's still there. I think she's the only black girl there, she said. Andrew is in Newark, New Jersey. Mary can probably smell it from her apartment.
Not over my must.
And you have a musty apartment?
No, I meant my body.
Oh, you're Musk.
My must.
You're Elon.
Oh, did I say must?
Must.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you had a musty apartment or something.
No.
You got to fix that. It can't be mildewy. You
No,
want it to be dewy, not mildewy.
Electrician has to come today because half of the outlets in our living room don't work.
But look at the bright side. Half of them
Which
do.
half, the top half or the bottom half?
Mm-hmm.
Bottom half.
Bottom
no,
half
the
don't
half
work.
that the internet and the TV are plugged into. So that's really
Why don't you plug them into the ones that work?
Because the internet is drilled through the wall. So
Oh,
we
it
can't-
is?
We can't move it. Yeah.
You have a
like,
hard connection to the internet?
Yes. They like.
What is it, coax?
Spectrum had to come and like drill a hole through the wall to like make sure that it's crazy that it's like a 1-foot cord. This thing can't go anywhere else in the entire apartment.
Is that
Can't
because
get
it
a
was
longer cord?
Is that because it was commercially zoned?
I have no idea why, but
Wow.
it was a pain in the butt to get them out there. And then once they finally did, they had all these stipulations on how it had to work, and it was super annoying.
Huh.
But yeah, we can't move it.
So the guy's got to come back out.
No,
And
this
hook
is
the-
an electrician has to come out
Yeah.
to find out why our outlets aren't working.
I see.
Why are
Why
you
the
making
outlets?
snack noises?
That was Bill eating.
Oh,
No, it's not.
I'm sorry, that wasn't you?
No.
Are you sure? I thought for sure that was you.
I'm not like Mary. I don't eat right into the microphone.
Oh, I'm sorry.
sorry.
Have you had second lunch today or just one lunch?
I just had one lunch.
Okay.
But I am hungry.
Mm-hmm.
I want to have a second lunch.
Will you get a
hungry,
chance
too.
to? You're going up tonight, yeah?
No, I have to go home for the electrician.
Oh, that's tonight.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you said tomorrow he was coming.
No, that's tonight. Tomorrow I'm in Columbus.
Oh, right. Well, that's why I thought it was very frustrating.
No.
I thought maybe
Yeah.
you weren't going to be there, but your roommate was.
No, I have to go there tonight, and then I wanted to go hang out at a couple different shows in Brooklyn, but I don't know how long this guy's going to be there, so we'll figure it out.
Maybe he could give you a ride to Brooklyn.
I will not ride with this person. I do not know them.
Oh, I see. You're too good for an electrician. A hard-working, blue-collar guy coming out to figure out why your internet isn't working.
It's not the internet that's the problem. It's
Your outlets don't work.
There you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
People are sending me ideas for things that you can do, but the guy's coming tonight to fix the outlets. The outlets
Yeah.
should work.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a
Yeah.
problem if the internet is where it's at, if there is
It's
outlets working.
We tried to plug in lamps
Yeah.
and all
Yeah.
kinds of things, and
So-
the outlets do not work.
She doesn't
So
need to get extension cords or anything like that. They're going to, it's her right as a renter to have the
the
outlets work.
Oh, is that true?
I would assume you
I
have to
don't-
have
I-
electricity flowing
well,
through your.
You lived in Bozo's joint for a long time, and there was a lot of things that
I
the
mean, I didn't
landlord was responsible for that he was blowing off. So
I didn't have water there.
right. Which outlet did the water come out of?
Oh, see, that was the problem. It was coming out of all of the outlets, but it
Yeah.
wasn't clean.
Yeah.
Dirty brown outlet water.
Yeah. And probably positively charged.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be careful with that. I got money for you. About 30 past. Every hour you get one of these keywords. Last few days to do this, but still plenty of chances to win, so that I hope you do. Right under the wire here. It's $1,000, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Bills. That's bills. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Boy, imagine my surprise and delight last night as I was watching Jeopardy, like I do, and the champion is from Lakewood, Ohio.
Oh, Bill from Lakewood?
No, not Bill from Lakewood. A guy named Chris D'Amico.
Oh, Chris D'Amico from Lakewood?
Yes, from Lakewood, Ohio. It didn't sound like a guy that was a native. Maybe he is, but he sounded to me like he had a bit of an East Coast tinge to his voice. I don't know. I don't even know what he does. They called him like a systems analyst or something. I don't know. But he ended up winning. He knocked out the kid who had been winning. The kid who had been winning was some dude from Arizona who got 2 or 3 nights worth of victories, and then this dude from Lakewood knocked him out. He runs like a puzzle website or something, but his bio said that he started as a comedy writer a long time ago. But, listen, I've been living here long enough where now my ears perk up when I hear those kinds of things. And I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you that I wasn't rooting for him. Because the kid who had been winning, he just rubbed me the wrong way. And that's silly to say, because all those people on that show, you've got to be quite bright to get yourself there on Jeopardy. I always feel bad for the people who you get all the way to Jeopardy. It's not an easy thing to do, even if you don't watch that show. It's not an easy thing to do. There's all kinds of game shows that don't require you to know anything, right? Some of them. There's the one day where it just did nothing but rain all day long, and we were in Orlando. So we were inside all day long watching TV. And there was a game show on that night called The Wall. I think it's The Wall. It's Chris Hardwick. Have you seen this where they have giant balls that just drop down and they fall into what's the game with the pins and the ball drops and then it bounces? Is that called Plinko?
Well, it's like a coin type thing on.
It's like like almost looks like a air hockey puck.
Yeah, like if you go to Dave and Buster's or something, they've got the thing with the ball. Sometimes you're right, it's like a disc. Sometimes this was balls. And the contestant was the guy, we've met him. I'm terrible at names, but he was the wounded veteran guy. He came through.
Lieutenant Dan.
No.
Oh.
It wasn't Gary Sinise. No, it wasn't that. No, it was him and his wife, because the conceit of this particular game is the other person is like in a soundproof room and they have to decide something. I don't know. Anyway, I digress. There are all kinds of games where you don't need to know anything, but you got to be sharp to get on Jeopardy. And so that's why it's always fascinating. And listen, any given night, you can just crap the bed. But you'll have somebody that ends up with like $200. They just didn't know anything about anything that they threw up on that screen. And that's got to suck, because you're telling everybody you know, I'm going to be on Jeopardy.
Watch.
It's a flex. Yeah, I'm going to be on Jeopardy. Oh, my God. You go through so many rounds of that. I mean, it starts with you just going online and doing one of their test things. And tons of people do that. And then producers sift through those and go, And then you finally get on the show. But to make it to the end. Anyway, the guy who won last night was a dude from Lakewood.
Nice.
Yeah.
And he's on again tonight.
On again tonight. You can leave us messages a variety of ways anytime you want to do it. Of course, you can text during the show. You can leave messages on the iHeartRadio app. You can call the After Hours line, which is 216-986-8903.
Hey, guys. Dexter and Copley here. Alan, do you think David Lee Roth and Huey Lewis were separated at birth? What about Sammy Hagar and Chris Cornell?
Wait, what did he say? Wait.
That. Oh,
if they were separated at birth.
Who?
First was Huey Lewis and David Lee Roth.
Copley here. Alan, do you think David Lee Roth and Huey Lewis were separated at birth?
David Lee Roth and Huey Lewis.
I'm assuming, saying that they look alike. I don't know what either of those people
Sammy
look
Hagar
like.
and Chris Cornell.
You don't know what David Lee Roth and Huey Lewis look like?
No.
What about Sammy Hagar and Chris Cornell? I just want answers to that. Oh, and can you hit the post on Shakedown by Bob Seger? Hey, so bad.
No, none of those people. Dex, I'm puzzled by this. No, I don't. Chris Cornell, the late Chris Cornell, and Sammy Hagar don't look anything alike. And David Lee Roth and Huey Lewis don't look anything alike. Huey Lewis, in fact, looks really weird right now. Something has happened to Huey Lewis. I don't know if it's just maybe a function of age. Maybe he got old overnight. David Lee Roth is still all right, but no, Dex, I don't know what you mean by that. No, I would not call them separated at birth. But what did he want? Shakedown by Bob Seger?
Yeah.
I don't know how long.
Your voice. Why does your voice change so much?
What do you mean?
When you hit the post, you have your hit the post voice.
That's that old timey DJ thing. That's what they were doing back here on the day. That's what they were doing with the Top 40 radio. That's how those guys got work. It was just your voice. Everybody. Those are the guys I grew up listening to back in the day. It didn't matter what you said because nobody knew what the F you were talking about anyway. You just had to say it fast, and you had to say it in that voice. I mean, when I got into this business, I knew I better be interesting because I didn't have a good voice. Those guys, all they had was the voice. So that's why I'm everybody. That's what I think.
I think
of.
your regular voice is much better.
Well, but it's not funny if I'm like, hey, here's Shakedown on the Buzzard. I mean, but no, that voice is way better. Those are the guys that were making it happen back then. Shakedown by Bob Seger. Good song, boy.
You did good with that one, though. You nailed it.
That was from Beverly Hills Cop, I think, wasn't it? Bob Seger Shakedown. It was from a movie. It was 1987 from the soundtrack of Beverly Hills Cop 2.
Oh, 2.
Yeah, 2. It was a #1 song for Bob Seger. That's got to drive you nuts when you have just decades of music of your own. And listen, Bob Seger had no shortage of success, obviously. You know, one of the most prolific songwriters in rock and roll. But then you collaborate with a songwriter to do a song for a soundtrack. And it doesn't sound like any of your other music, by the way. You know, he's doing Against the Wind and You'll Accompany Me and all that stuff. And then you do like this big kind of poppy thing for a movie, and it's #1. I think it was his only #1 hit. Went to #1 in Canada and the United States. It got nominated for an Oscar and a Golden Globe. He got nominated for Best Original Song for Shakedown for the Oscars, but it lost to that Dirty Dancing song. And then at the Oscars, because all of the nominees for original song get performed, Little Richard did it, which I'm sure had to be a huge thrill for Bob Seger. But Little Richard's up there doing your song. And they initially went to Glenn Frey because he had done The Heat Is On for Beverly Hills Cop. And Glenn Frey's like, these lyrics suck. But like Glenn Frey and Bob Seger were, you know, longtime friends and collaborators. They're both, you know, Detroiters. And somebody writes you a song, go, hey, we really like you to do this song. And then the song goes to #1, and Glenn Frey would call to congratulate him. Said, at least we kept the money in Michigan. But, man, think about that. Hey, you want to do this song? We sent it over to your buddy. You know, like when Mary is, or either one of you guys, you know when you guys are like writing material for the other person just to help out? And she goes, I can't, Bill, I've never been Mormon. I can't do this. And Bill goes, of course you can. It's just in the delivery. And you go, no, I really can't. I need to have a natural enthusiasm for this, and I don't because I have no. And he goes, just trust me. Mm-hmm. And then you go up and do it, and it
bombs.
Kills. Oh.
All my Mormon material doesn't usually go over very well, but.
Well, and neither does Bill's have you heard about my
Sobriety.
bonus hole thing? Right. Neither does Bill's sobriety
It's
material.
actually going way too well. I hate it.
Mary wrote a bunch of material for you, and it was just murdering on stage. Hey, have you guys heard about sobriety? I'm all about it.
That's how she talks about it.
Hi, everybody.
Yep.
Have you heard
That's
about
fun to do.
sobriety?
Have you heard about this thing called sobriety? I'm putting the sob in sobriety. Well, congratulations to everyone involved, because that's exciting. I got a break. You want to send me a text, 35192. You can watch live if you like at alancoxshow.com and listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
A wise man once said, everything is better on Aloha time. No, wait, hold on. That was on a can of Kona Big Wave. Well, either way, the Buzzard has teamed up with Kona Brewing Company to send you to Hawaii. And you got 3 ways to win.
Aloha!
Listen to the Alan Cox Show all this week for your chance to become a finalist. Join us at one of our upcoming Bring the Aloha qualifying events or scan the QR code at any